Hi everyone, Frank DiMora here, and today is March the 10th, 2014, bringing you the connection between Bible prophecy and current events. Let's get right into it. One of the major prophecies that I've been asking you to keep your eyes on is the prophecy about the third Jewish temple that's supposed to be rebuilt prior to the Lord's second coming. And let me give two scriptures and then we'll get right into the news. Now the first scripture is found in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 4, and it's talking about the Antichrist. Listen to this. And it shows us that the Antichrist is going actually to sit in this Jewish temple that's going to be rebuilt. Like I said, it's going to be the third one. Now look at the yellow. It says this: who opposeth and exalts himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. So there's the temple, the warning. Now there's another warning in the Old Testament, Daniel 9:27. This is what the Lord shows us. And as a matter of fact, when you read Matthew chapter 24, Jesus himself alludes to this 9:27 when he talks about Daniel and the abomination of desolation. But let's look at what Daniel said. He will confirm a covenant with many for 1/7, and in the middle of the 7 he will put an end to, this is the really important part, an end to sacrifice and offering. And on the wing of the temple he will set up an abomination that causes desolate until the end that is decreed is poured out on him. Alright, so he goes on to say, so when you see standing in the holy place, not if, he is saying when, okay, he's telling us it's going to happen. Goes on to say, the abomination that causes death is spoken through the prophet Daniel, let the reader understand. And there's so many people who don't understand. Number one, they don't understand because they've never read about it. And number two, they probably have never studied it. So I'm here to help bring focus into what's going on. So the Lord told us you are going to see a third temple, and you will see, important, notice here, an end to the sacrifices. So over the years I've been telling you this third temple is coming. This is what it's going to look like. It's going to be built on the Temple Mount area where we've seen so many rioting take place. Now, a few years ago, I told you that they were going to start practicing the sacrifices. I put up videos 2 years ago showing you the first practice of killing lambs, practice for real sacrifices that we see that are going to be started up and are warned to us in Scripture. Daniel tells us that they are going to have these sacrifices, obviously, because look what it says. The Antichrist, when he comes, he's going to put an end to the sacrifice and offering. So they have to start up again. And this is why I've been telling you, watch the news, because you're going to continue to see more news about that. And sure enough, before I get to that news, I wanted to show you one of the videos that I was just talking about where you're actually going to see the Jews practicing these sacrifices, these rituals that they used to do in the Old Testament, where they kill the lamb, take the blood and put it on the altar. And now it is getting to the point where we're very, very close to seeing the actual sacrifices taking place. I mean, the real ones, not just a practice, but in the coming days or whatever it may be, whatever the Lord has determined. These practices will no longer be practices, but they will be doing it just as we see in Scripture when Antichrist stops them. So here's an article that just came out today. The Israeli Institute prepares priests for Jerusalem's third temple. Let me go over to the article. Now, this came from Israel Pulse, and you'll see the headline here. This is from the April 10th of 2014. Now, when you get into this article, it's a longer article. I'm not going to scroll down, but I'm just going to give you the gist of what's in this article and hoping that you'll read the entire article. But we're talking about the actual Passover. They're talking about what they're going to be doing And what they're going to be doing again is they're going to be slaughtering another lamb in preparation. These are the practices. They're doing it again. And every time they do this, it really makes the Palestinians, it makes the Arabs very uneasy, because when they do these things, they understand in the back of their mind that they know that Israel's getting ready. They want to build their third temple. And in order to do that, there has to be something that would take place to allow them to be able to build the temple there, because the Jews are having a hard time with the Arabs right now, even going up to the Temple Mount to pray or to visit the Temple Mount area. So we know that something major is going to happen soon to cause the Jews to be able to go up to that Temple Mount area, to be able to pray, to do what they want, and obviously, as indicated in Daniel 9:27, to build or to rebuild this Jewish temple, which would be the third Jewish temple. So the heart of the article that I want to point to you, they're going to go through this. They're going to show you how they've been training these young men to be priests, and they are going to, this time, unlike the last time when the people who were teaching, they were doing the practice. But now it's the students who are going to actually do the practice. These are the people who are going to become the priests, who will be carrying out the sacrifices in this new temple. Very, very important news. So when you go down to read the rest of this article, it'll talk about what they're doing. But I wanted to give this to you because they are about to do it again. They're going to sacrifice another lamb in preparation for what is coming. And what is coming is exactly what God told us is coming. The third temple. And obviously, if the third temple is going to be built, guess what? What does this tell us? It tells us Antichrist is coming very, very soon. He's already in the world. We know that because the time is short. We don't know who he is. We do know that he's going to rise up. And when he rises up, obviously, that third temple is going to be rebuilt. He will go into it, and he's going to stop the sacrifices. Now, you can't stop something that isn't there yet, right? But you can, if through practicing right now and in the very near future, start him up. And then in the middle of the 7-year period, just like Daniel alludes to, they are going to stop. He is going to stop the sacrifices. Pay attention to the surroundings around you, friends, because we're going to see some major, major prophecies very, very soon. And this major prophecy about stopping the sacrifices and rebuilding, first of all, the temple so that they can stop the sacrifice. This is huge. So the practicing is a very, very huge sign that we are limited in our time, and especially limited in being able to witness to people before the Lord removes his church. This is Frank DiMora from the End Times Research Ministry saying, take the time, read the article. Very, very interesting. God is in the works. We're going to see prophecy fulfilled. God bless.